I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is why people can't find love. This is an easy one to answer. The reason why people can't find love is that they look for it in the wrong place. And where do they look for it? In other people. That's the answer. People can't find love because they look for it in other people. I know this potentially sounds cynical, but I'm going to ask you to go with me on this at least for the next 8 minutes, and then you can make up your own mind. First of all, it's important to appreciate that you can't feel someone else's emotions. Like you can't feel someone else's fear, you can't feel someone else's despair, and you can't feel someone else's love. It's not possible. What is possible and what you can experience is your own love coming out of you. If you want to find love, then you have to look for it inside of yourself. Or more accurately, you have to look for it coming out of yourself. You will feel love as you express love to others. At the highest level, you can think of love as having a divine origin. It comes from a source higher than you. However, as you increasingly become a vessel for that love, you can participate in and experience that love as it passes through you on its way from that higher source to other people. This, of course, requires you to create space in yourself to be filled with love and to cultivate a willingness to give it away once you have received it. Because it's only in the giving away, in the expression, that you experience it phenomenologically. Now, there's another reason why people often struggle to find love. This is point number 2. People can't find love because they're not actually looking for love. They're looking for something else that they call love, but isn't. Love is not attractive. Love is not fun. Love is not romantic. Love is a hard, transformative crucible associated with spiritual development. As I've mentioned before, it's the humiliated self exultant. Love is changing the bedpan. Love is staying with someone when they're down and out. Love is sacrifice without the hope of reward. Do you understand? Like, how many people today, when they say they're looking for love, mean they're looking for someone whose needs they can indefinitely put ahead of their own? How many mean by this that they want to find someone whom they can sacrifice their own desires so that this other person's can be fulfilled? Like very, very few, right? And that's why so many people find it. They're not actually looking for it. And what are these people looking for instead? Most people are not looking for love. They are looking for the gratification of being loved. They want to be treated well. They want to get a lot of what they want and not a lot of what they don't. And when this occurs, they experience a positive form of emotion that is often called love, like, wow, I love this, but is really just the experience of gratification. And that is why when they get less of what they want and more of what they don't feel the same way and have fallen out of love with the other. The truth is they never loved to begin with because love has nothing to do with getting what you want. Like, who wants to forgive the person who has hurt them? Who wants to stay by the person who has lost your memory? Who wants to forego respect and appreciation and reciprocity? But these things and more are often required of us by love. And love is capable of performing all of these and more because its essence is fundamentally divine, which is capable of things we are not. If you appreciate the insights on this channel, I would highly encourage you to get your hands on a copy of my book, The Value of Others. Over the course of 432 pages, I delve deep into my economic model of relationships and explain the behavior of both men and women in the game of mating and dating. I also provide a lot of actionable advice on how to get and keep more of what you want in the sexual marketplace. Once you read The Value of Others, you'll never look at relationships the same way again. Now available in ebook, audiobook, and paperback formats. The links are in the description. All right. The difference between loving and being loved is vaster than the difference of being a server and a diner at a Michelin star restaurant. They're completely different. The diner experiences gratification. They're treated warmly, respectfully. They're provided a host of interesting, pleasant experiences. Their wishes and preferences are fulfilled and accommodated, and immediate efforts are made to address their slightest dissatisfactions. On the other hand, the server enacts service. They express warmth and respect. They provide interest and pleasure. They fulfill wishes and accommodate preferences and assuage dissatisfactions. And they do all of these things at some cost to themselves and within a context in which more pleasurable or rewarding pastimes are likely available. Finally, true lovers, unlike restaurant servers, can't reasonably expect to be compensated for their service. Maybe they're recognized, maybe they're not. Maybe they're appreciated, maybe they're not. Maybe they're reciprocated, maybe they're not. And this is because love is serving without the expectation of reward. It has to be, otherwise it's giving to get, which wouldn't be love. Now, people might hear this and think, Orion, why would I want a relationship in which I can never expect to be gratified? A relationship in which all I do is give and serve without any expectation of reciprocity? And I would respond, yeah, I completely understand that. But that means that you're not looking for love. You're looking to be loved. Or rather, you're looking to exchange the fulfillment of needs and wants with another person, which is completely fine, but that means that you're not looking for love as much as you're looking to do business. And you may need to get off your high horse about that. I explain this at much greater length in my book. In any case, it's generally more honest and effective to approach relationships through that lens. When you approach relationships through the lens of doing business, then you understand that if you want a lot, then you need to be prepared to give a lot, to have an attractive value proposition to offer in return for the gratification of being loved. It could very well be that the most satisfying possible relationship is the one characterized by mutual gratification. Two people getting a lot of what they want and not a lot of what they don't will really like each other. It's this gratification that, as before, will cause people to feel, I love this person. And you're probably not going to feel that way when you're called upon by love to sacrifice for the good of the other. What are you going to do when the other is incapacitated and incapable of reciprocity? Like, being a caregiver is an enormous burden. It will teach you a lot about life and love and yourself, but you will not like it, trust me. However, if you leave when you cease being gratified, then you never loved to begin with, which is kind of too bad. Like, everyone should love deeply and at great sacrifice at least once in their lives. It really helps people grow up and to get over themselves. But love is a tough sell because it is hard. It's harder than diamonds. And it has to be, as it might be one of the only things hard enough to break our selfish egos and recalcitrant wills. So that's why people can't find love. They look for it in other people, namely in the experience of being loved by others. On the other hand, love can only be experienced as it comes out of you in the enactment of a conscious sacrifice for the good of the loved one, which is why you don't even need to be in a relationship in order to love. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And please send this episode to someone who might benefit from its message, because it's word of mouth referrals like this that really help to make the channel grow. And anyone looking to join my free weekly newsletter or book a paid consultation can do so on my website. Links below. As always, I appreciate your support and thank you for listening.